Have you ever found yourself like having a conversation with your partner, trying to communicate your needs to them in every possible way, but they just don't get it? Today on Love, Sex, Lies, and Reality Talks, we are looking at frustrations in relationships. Yes, we all get frustrated at a point in time in a relationship, especially when the relationship is unhealthy, because the partner just not just understand what you're trying to communicate. You have a desire for your partner to be this way, to be that way, to do this, to do that, and you've done everything possible, but they just cannot process what you're trying to communicate. And it's come to a point where you try to nag and try to make them be who you want them to become and try to make them do what you want them to do, but they just don't bulge. And it's like, they're like, I don't know what you're talking about. I can't seem to get it. I'm just trying to be me. And you're trying to make me be this person. And reality is that if you don't take a pause and examine where those desires are coming from, you may not truly know that it's you getting a conscious awakening to your emotions that are unprocessed, that you may have suppressed based on a need that wasn't met by either a parent or during your childhood, that is oozing back to the surface. And you may have also created fantasies and illusions of an ideal partner, like I shared last week. And that is also oozing to the surface to let you know this person is not ideal. This person is not going to be who you want them to be. They're just who they are. And if they're also in an unhealthy space, they may not be able to process their thoughts and understand the emotions. And always remember this: the emotions that you're experiencing are really your emotions, not your partner's emotions. Let me say that again because this is the very important part of this discussion. The emotions that you're experiencing are really your emotions, not your partner's emotions. Everything that you're feeling based on your emotions are valid to you, but it's for you to sit with those feelings and emotions and understand them and gain a conscious awakening and wisdom of what they're bringing to you, what they're teaching you, because our emotions are teachers. They teach us about ourselves. They teach us to tap into areas of our lives that we don't yet know, so that we can become more resilient, we can become more courageous, we can become more confident in ourselves, and we can move from one level of growth to another level of growth. Emotions are like growth factors in our lives. And if you're not really looking at yourself, but you're projecting everything on the poor partner who may not be able to process and understand your emotions because they're not the one experiencing the emotions, then you may need to sit with yourself and really do the work to heal yourself. And they may also need to really sit with themselves, because what happens constantly is the more you try to make your partner see, the more you will be triggered. The more you'll be triggered, the more you will open yourself to anger and bitterness. And all those are avenues that you can get more pain acquired on top of the one that you've already built, the emotional pain and trauma that you've already built before that you need to heal from. And now you're acquiring more because frustration is indeed self-induced. So today, my challenge to you is to take a pause. Whenever you get angry with that partner, ask yourself, what is it about myself that I need to tap into? What experience am I gaining from these emotions? What lessons do I need to learn from these emotions? What exactly am I feeling? Give that emotion a name. Because when you give that emotion a name, it helps you really begin to see what you're experiencing and understand that when you do not process your emotions, they result in behavioral patterns and that change your character and make you become who you're not created to be and become. And so your behavioral changes begin to show up as part of survival mode. I just need to survive. I just need to develop a coping mechanism which is unhealthy to you and will also result in you self-sabotaging. So all the unhealthy coping mechanisms that you're developing based on a survival mode would also contribute to the frustration that leads to anger, resentment, bitterness, strife, all that malice related stuff that bring you into more place of pain than a place of healing. So today, as you take a pause, give that emotion a name. Allow yourself to go through that emotion and understand it. As you name it, ask yourself, what is it that I need to gain awareness about? relating these emotions, if you cannot help yourself, that is when you need the support of a coach or a therapist to help you uncover that emotion that you're going through and help you gain conscious awakening moments into it. That's where you have your aha moments where you come into sessions. I've had so many clients that have gone through it, and when they do the aha moment, I just get excited for them because it's like they're now gaining the awakening that they need to understand exactly what they're feeling. They realize it's not about the other person, it's mostly about themselves when it comes to frustration, when it comes to anger, when it comes to bitterness. Because people will trigger you, but the triggers are just for you to gain a conscious awareness, and triggers are not a bad thing. But when you don't know how to process your emotions, when you don't know how to sit with your thoughts and emotions and feelings and allow you to experience them and learn from them, then it becomes exhibited as frustration and anger and changes your behavior. But your behavior should not change your character. It gives a perspective of who you're not, and it's just the behavior that people see. And so that's why Maya Angelou said, when people show you who they are, believe them. But what you're showing people is the unhealthy coping mechanisms that's changing your behavior, that's making you act out, in frustration. But that's not who you are. Who you are is right within. And if you're not connecting back to yourself, remember, when you're frustrated, when you're going through the behavioral changes, when you're going through the unhealthy coping mechanisms, that's because you have a disconnection with your true self. But when you come back home to your true self and you allow yourself process your emotions and thoughts, and you're able to sit with them, and you're able to understand them, and you're able to gain the knowledge and wisdom that you need and the lessons learned to evolve, then you begin to see how the patterns operate in you, and then you begin to change the course of your own story. You begin to have courage to speak up when you need to speak up. You have courage to be silent and process your thoughts and emotions, and you feel safe within yourself, because when you're frustrated, you don't feel safe within yourself. It's the outburst that's communicating to you there's this unsafe environment that you're in, and you're trying to communicate it to somebody. And another thing that also signifies that you may not be consciously aware of is the fear that comes with that. The fear of being rejected. I don't want to be rejected. I just want you to get this so that we can be together. And so all your nervous breakdown is just showing up because your nervous system is already dysregulated. And that's why you start feeling unsafe. And so it's coming back home to yourself and saying, if frustration is self-induced, why am I getting frustrated? And the more you sit with the emotions and feelings, the more you're able to understand them, the more you're able to see your partner's perspective, the more you're able to process your thoughts and emotions and tame them, not allow them to tame you and change your behavior. The more you gain wisdom and understanding to who you are, and then the more you come back home to yourself and realign yourself, spirit, body, soul, and mind, so that you're one with yourself and you're true to yourself, and you're patient with yourself, and you're loving yourself, and you're going through commitment to healing yourself and becoming healthier. And in that moment, you may realize, this partner was just meant to bring me an awakening. This partner was just meant to help me learn the lessons. This partner may not be the partner that I'm meant to be with for a lifetime. And you just celebrate that moment of gaining wisdom, gaining new knowledge, evolving, and moving on into your life's process, knowing that your life is yours to own. Your journey is yours and yours alone, like I've written in Love, Sex, Lies, and Reality. And in that moment, you understand you are indeed the CEO of your life. Remember to never stop loving while living. When you stop loving, you stop living. When you stop living, it means it's time to go back to the maker. But while you're still here, breathing and living, make sure you do not self-induce frustration, self-sabotage, and take charge of your emotions and thoughts. Don't let your emotions and thoughts take charge of you. That's a quote from Being Beyond the Pain. Until next time, take good care. God bless. Have a great weekend. Bye for now.